Fans Beyond Wrestling, this is Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place. We're going to kick things off with the second Burst the Bubble YouTube special, taking you to the closing moments of Stan Stylez' match against Chaz Lovely at the Off the Grid studio taping. There we see Stan Stylez going for his signature palm strike, instead getting elevated on the shoulder of Chaz Lovely and getting driven down, spiked on his head and his shoulder. That was enough for Lovely to pick up the victory, but Stan Stylez was injured during this maneuver, suffering a separated shoulder. And fast forwarding a few moments, now we have John Harder by ringside, pretty much running down Stan Stylez, who's hurt at this point.
You only beat a woman, Stan? You only beat a woman? Shut the hell up. Come on, Stan, you're not professional. Oh, those are your crap.
We've seen John Harder over the last year recruit not only Leon St. Giovanni, JT Dunn, but most recently Mark Sherman, and now it looks like he has Stan Stylez in his sight.
You're not professional, Stan. Unprofessional. Where is Stylez? Where is Stan? Stan!
Excuse me.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to work out the kinks here.
Stan!
My shoulder's killing me.
Stan, what are you doing? Are you out of juice already? But the fact is, Stan...
I'm out of juice!
Give me this, Stan. The fact of the matter is, Stan Stylez, lately here and beyond, you know, we go back, and I've seen you lose to a man and a woman this weekend. The fact is, you are losing potential, and you're a waste of potential right now. You're very unprofessional.
I'm trying to have a moment here, John. I'm really hurt. My shoulder's killing me.
This is filth.
Come on.
That is filth. Get it off. Come on. The fact is, Stan Stylez, I want to give you guidance. I want you to join the professional revolution. Join me, my man Gio, LSG, Dunn, the sure thing. We want you, Stan. We'll give you the guidance you need. We'll give you the leadership you need. We'll give you the matches you deserve. We'll give you the money. And here's the big one. Women! You know that shoulder that's hurting? I'll get you a nurse. The two of the hot nurses, night nurses from Jersey, Jack.
Jersey?
Night nurses from Jersey.
Like J-Well?
J-Well. And we would travel the world, go to New York, Japan, London. All the ladies, they love Stan the Man Stylez. That's your Hottie of the Week. Hottie of the Week.
From London and France?
London and France. What do you say, buddy?
They're gonna drop their pants for Stan the Man Stylez?
That's right, buddy. What do you say? Come on.
That's a hard decision.
You can't do that, Stan. Stan, come on. Think professional. Composure. Professional. Composure. What do you say?
I only got one thing to say to you and you.
What?
Where do I sign up?
That's right.
That's right.
Oh. What the hell is on your hand?
Never mind. Jersey girls? Jersey nurses? Let's go. Come on. I need some help.
Jersey, what's that?
Big time. Big time.
Yes.
They out here?
Good grief.
Well, it looks as though Stan the Man Stylez has officially joined up with the ranks of the professional revolution. We've seen a lot of alliances developing here in Beyond Wrestling. As always, with the wrestlers remaining ringside for every contest, it is especially important to make sure you have somebody watching your back. Now, with the last Burst the Bubble YouTube special that was posted last week, we saw that Mikey Webb in his third ever match knocked off Matt Taven. Well, Matt Taven wasn't even scheduled to be here today, but he wanted to exact revenge against Mikey Webb. So Matt Taven has introduced Scotty Slade, somebody who, believe it or not, I know very well. And Mikey Webb now is going to be joining up with Julian Starr, another student here at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. But before the bells even sounded, Taven and Scotty Slade trying to get the jump on their opponents. Now Taven driving Mikey Webb right into the corner. Scotty Slade taking a cheap shot. Again, Taven yesterday was here to test Mikey Webb, to see how far he was coming along in his training. Today, Taven, along with Scotty Slade, are looking to embarrass Mikey Webb. Look at that, pulling his hair. Well, Julian Starr finally getting tagged in, able to take Scotty Slade down with that missile drop kick. Now snapmaring him into position, trying to get him away from the ropes, right into the center ring. And it's techniques like that Julian Starr, that Mikey Webb have learned right here at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy in North Andover, Massachusetts. Brian Fury, the lead trainer here, he is putting out students at an incredible rate. And these guys are all great athletes. Now Scotty Slade, you hear him running in his mouth. I can only assume he's going to continue to do so throughout the rest of the contest. I actually went to high school with this kid. I grew up with this kid, and he was nothing but a troublemaker. He never shut up. He was the type of kid that would smart off to the teachers. He was always getting thrown out of class. I can tell you that firsthand. Again, just a completely obnoxious prick. So it should be no surprise that him and Taven are rolling together, especially after Taven showed his true colors yesterday. Now Scotty Slade elevating Julian Starr up and over. Starr able to catch himself on the apron, also gets caught with that back elbow. But again, Scotty Slade constantly running his mouth. This kid never shuts up. Trying to bring Julian Starr in the hard way, but he was able to recover, avoiding the impact and driving Scotty Slade right down onto his knee. If Scotty Slade spent more time worrying about his opponent and less time running his mouth, he'd be having better success, although perhaps he goaded Julian Starr into that situation, able to connect with a kick on the side of the head. But as Taven comes charging, he gets caught with a Hurricane Rana. A great pinning combination from Julian Starr, but that's only good for two. And as he gets up, he gets taken right back down with that right hand from Matt Taven. Now Taven trying to bring Julian back up to his feet. Mikey Webb really the catalyst in this entire situation. Luckily enough to have one of his training buddies, Julian Starr, coming to his aid. But Julian Starr is worse for wear right now. Getting dumped on the top turnbuckle, the knee to the face, the drop kick to the apron, and spiked head first on the apron on the way down. Julian Starr is out on the floor. There you see the official starting to count him out. What's Taven doing? Pulling him away. Now Scotty Slade trying to get involved physically on the floor. But Mikey Webb, with a veteran maneuver, making sure that Scotty Slade cannot get physically involved. Trying to bring Julian Starr up to his feet, but this could have been a mistake because he put him into the waiting arms of Matt Taven. Now Taven elevating Julian Starr with that superplex. And he's going to keep him up there for a while. Let him think about it. Let all the blood flow out of the body into the brain, making the impact that much more devastating when he finally brought him down to the canvas. Matt Taven, somebody else who likes to run his mouth. A very deliberate pace to all of his matches. So that way he can verbally abuse his opponent as well as physically abuse him. That's not something that somebody the likes of Mikey Webb is prepared for. Although it was Mikey Webb who knocked off Matt Taven as he got superplexed off the top rope. Was able to get that cradle pin. Matt Taven with that hurricane boot, driving the foot right down to the chest. Again, Taven and Slade, they've been working on Julian Starr for a number of minutes in this tag team contest. You can't fault that strategy. They're isolating perhaps the stronger competitor in this contest. That way, if he does ever find his way to Mikey Webb, I mean, Webb, not only can he not match in experience, but he's going to be outnumbered as well. Again, Scotty Slade just barking at the official and taking Julian Starr again down to the mat with that neck breaker. Mikey Webb, a little too late. Not able to break up the pin. Julian Starr still with the wherewithal to get the shoulders off the mat. But I don't know how many more opportunities he's going to be able to recover on his own. Scotty Slade sweeping the legs out from underneath Julian Starr. Set him up in position. Matt Taven has been tagged in. The referee needs to stop this tandem offense. Julian Starr just getting catapulted into the the forearm of Matt Taven. Taven coming off that springboard and just planting the elbow right in the chest of Julian Starr. Taven and Slade are picking apart their opponents. And again, Mikey Webb making some rookie mistakes that we did not see out of him yesterday when he was able to defeat Matt Taven. Scotty Slade now yelling at Brian Fury, the head trainer here at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, instead of worrying about the task at hand, which is defeating his opponents. Scotty Slade was brought here to Beyond Wrestling by Matt Taven to embarrass Mikey Webb, to embarrass Julius Starr. And granted, they are picking him apart in the ring. The impact was he got shot into the turnbuckle. Still not enough. Scotty Slade still, though, I mean, again, while he's got his opponent down, I mean, he's continuing to mouth off to his partner, to the other wrestlers around ringside, not really taking this contest very seriously. It was Julian Starr back at Pricey's Precipitate Change that actually defeated Brian Fury, one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen in Beyond Wrestling. Now Julian Starr, Mikey Webb on the offense. Julian Starr going to be going for a dive. No, faking out his opponents. Allowing Mikey Webb to jump through the uprights with that flipping plancha to take down Matt Taven and Scotty Slade on the floor. Now Julian Starr, perhaps he's got something in mind. He is posing in the center of the ring, now moving outside of the apron, sizing up his opponents. And look at the elevation on that springboard moonsault to the outside. As we take another look at that, this Julian Starr is so talented. If I was Mikey Webb, I would certainly be proud to have somebody like him backing me up. You can tell the damage has been done, though. Julian Starr slow to get back up to his feet. I mean, certainly some high-risk offense, doing some damage to himself by being able to take down Taven and Slade with that moonsault. Now finally into the pin. Not enough. And Scotty Slade taking a cheap shot on Mikey Webb on the floor as Julian Starr tries to mount a comeback. Starr now looking to send Taven across the ring. But Taven able to get the elbow up. Connecting with that super kick. And look at the angle he was dropped on his head, popping right back up to his feet just to get driven back down that spiked bulldog, and Taven's going to continue this onslaught. Look at that corkscrew neckbreaker again. That's the third time in about 15 seconds he's been dumped on his head. And finally, Mikey Webb, learning from his mistakes earlier in the contest, he was there to break up the pin when he needed to be. And this match will continue. But Julian Starr is worse for wear. Scotty Slade now focusing his attack on Mikey Webb, bringing him down with that inverted atomic drop. Caught with the calf kick spinebuster combination. Scotty Slade and Matt Taven, you're going to wonder if they've ever teamed before. But again, look at Slade, still bugging to all the other wrestlers around ringside, trying to show his dominance. As Taven goes for that moonsault, Webb was out of the way, but Julian was in perfect position to kill him with that lung blower. He misses with the clothesline. Scotty Slade is going to be looking to elevate him, but Julian Starr able to overpower him. And look at that tombstone pile driver. Oh! How close can it get? And Julian Starr can't even believe it. What more is it going to take? Scotty Slade, I've been running him down all match, but you got to give this kid credit. He was able to kick out of a devastating maneuver like that. Mikey Webb really having difficulty on the outside. What is Julian Starr doing? Well, Julian Starr, I mean, this entire contest, Scotty Slade's been taking his time trying to embarrass him. Perhaps he was going to be looking to embarrass his opponent, Scotty Slade, by hitting that moonsault from the top rope, but Scotty Slade pushing the official into the ropes. Julian Starr getting hung up. And as Starr is trying to extricate himself from this situation, Slade climbed to the top rope. Perhaps going to be looking for a double stomp from this position, but Julian Starr, he was playing possum. Now climbing to the top turnbuckle. Oh, but as he comes off of that flying crossbody, he got caught with the knees. That's it. Oh, come on! Julian Starr, so resilient. Scotty Slade really firing away. Starr doing the best he can to cover up. But you got to wonder if Scotty Slade is going to stop screwing around now. If Julian Starr finally has his attention, if he's going to be looking to put him away. But again, Slade still taking a very deliberate pace. Slade, though, he gets caught. He gets taken down with a 3D by Julian Starr and Mikey Webb. Gonna think that was a lucky break from Mikey Webb and Julian Starr. Now Matt Taven comes charging in, and he gets taken down with the 3D. The knee coming down on Scotty Slade's head. And Mikey Webb and Julian Starr able to knock off Matt Taven again. Take a look at the impact on that 3D. Now again, Matt Taven enlisted the services of Scotty Slade to try and embarrass Mikey Webb. But Mikey Webb teaming up with somebody that he trains with here at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, Julian Starr. I mean, wrestling the last part of the match with his ass out. It seems that Mikey Webb has embarrassed Matt Taven once again.
Well, that sucked. +1. My dick hurts.
And as you may know, now heading into Burst the Bubble, it will be Matt Taven going one-on-one with Julian Starr. Julian Starr not even originally involved in this situation, but coming to help out somebody that he trains with, Mikey Webb, and now he's going to be going one-on-one with Matt Taven. And you're going to think that Matt Taven is going to be looking, again, for another opportunity to try and exact revenge, to try and prove himself here in Beyond Wrestling. It's become deeply personal very quickly, partially because that man, Scotty Slade, couldn't get the job done. This guy's a goofball.
We gotta roll on this, man.
Let's take you back to the closing moments of the Super Smash Brothers versus the Professional Revolution from the Off the Grid live event. There you see John Harder at the bottom of your screen trying to make his way to the apron to try and knock player Dose off. But Steve the Turtle Weiner pulling John Harder off the apron. He had come to assist the Super Smash Brothers to make sure that Harder wouldn't get involved. There you see that flipping blockbuster gory special combination. Enough for the Super Smash Brothers to pick up a victory over the Professional Revolution, staying undefeated in competition here at Beyond Wrestling. And you've got to credit Steve the Turtle Weiner. Now, of course, Steve the Turtle Weiner has had his problems with the Professional Revolution in the past. John Harder offering his services to Steve the Turtle Weiner against JT Dunn, only to double cross him and join up with Dunn. So Steve the Turtle Weiner, even though he's one of the lowest ranking members of the Beyond Wrestling roster, is still looking for any way that he can to get himself involved, to try and right the wrongs put forth by the Professional Revolution. These guys leaving the building with their tail between their legs, not even going back to the locker room. Right now we're going to take you to highlights from Steve the Turtle Weiner versus Leon St. Giovanni, again from the Off the Grid studio taping. St. Giovanni trying to jump the Turtle from behind. And Turtle slapping him right in the face. Again, because of Turtle's low rank, he was kept off the Off the Grid live event, and that can partly be attributed to the loss he suffered against JT Dunn. But of course, John Harder, as always, getting himself involved. This is a move that we've seen from him time and time again, trying to trip up the opponents of the men that he's representing. Leon St. Giovanni, JT Dunn, Mark Sherman, Plan B, the sure thing, introduced at Off the Grid to put Dan Barry on the shelf. And wrestlers like Dan Barry have really been the target of John Harder's campaign. He thinks that many of the competitors in Beyond Wrestling aren't professional enough. What's professional about that? He's cheating. Obviously, Harder sees the potential in the Beyond Wrestling project. Obviously, he sees the type of wrestlers that it attracts. I mean, he's really aligned himself with some of the best up-and-comers in Beyond Wrestling, the guys that have the brightest future, like Leon St. Giovanni, like JT Dunn, like Mark Sherman, now most recently, Stan Stylez, luring him in after his shoulder injury, promising him health insurance. He's going to get the finest female nurses to work out the kinks in his shoulder, as he put it. But again, the problem is Harder continues to get himself involved in these matches. We're not seeing a fair fight. And that's what Beyond Wrestling is all about. It's about competition. Somebody like Steve the Turtle Weiner has something that neither of these guys have. A whole bunch of them don't have, and that is heart. Because Steve the Turtle Weiner, what he may lack in athletic ability, he is determined and focused. But again, look at the technique from John Harder, sweeping out the leg and then holding down the foots that Steve the Turtle Weiner couldn't kick out, allowing Leon St. Giovanni to steal another victory, further humiliating the Turtle. But John Harder, he's caught here. Mark Sherman finally coming to make the save for John Harder. Somebody one of these days is going to get their hands on Harder.
Are you kidding me? These assholes talk about professionalism. You didn't see anyone in my corner, not because I wanted, did not. Point B, you need help, Gio? That's professional bullshit in my opinion.
If you've been following any of the developments heading into Burst the Bubble at lookmonnofans.com, as well as at youtube.com/Beyond Wrestling, obviously the same channel we're using to provide you with this second Burst the Bubble YouTube special, then you've seen that Dan Barry wants revenge on Mark Sherman. Wants revenge for putting him in the hospital, for costing him a day of competition here at Beyond Wrestling, for mugging him from behind. Dan Barry wants Mark Sherman, but John Harder has stated that in order for Dan Barry to get his hands on Mark Sherman, he has to go through JT Dunn first. So at Burst the Bubble, we will see Dan Barry versus JT Dunn. And if Dan Barry can knock off JT Dunn, then he will get his hands on Mark Sherman. But right here, we're seeing Mark Sherman and JT Dunn teaming for the first time, representing the Professional Revolution, going up against a local exciting tag team from the New England area, Adrenalized, Chris Neal and Nick Fahrenheit. And there you see some of the other wrestlers. Matt Taven, of all people, as obnoxious as that guy is, busting Mark Sherman's balls. So if Matt Taven's razzing on this guy, that just goes to show you what the other wrestlers in Beyond Wrestling think of the Professional Revolution. And Mark Sherman, JT Dunn, these guys are more concerned with listening to John Harder than forging their own path. I don't understand at all. I don't understand that mentality at all. I don't know who John Harder thinks he is. I don't know what he's told these guys that they think that he is. But I don't know if John Harder can open doors for anybody in the professional wrestling industry. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's got his connections on the East Coast. And I guess based on some of the tactics we've seen him employ, he's been able to help guys like Leon St. Giovanni and JT Dunn pick up victories here in Beyond Wrestling. But I know, the fans know, the other wrestlers know, these guys are cheating to get what they have. It's so cocky. JT Dunn, Mark Sherman, these guys are all so young. They've all got big heads on their shoulder. And they're all just looking for a quick way to the top. They don't want to get there through hard work. They're looking for an easy way out. And I guess that's what John Harder is hoping to provide them with. I'll tell you what, Adrenalized, these guys didn't come out to Beyond Wrestling for an easy way out. They came out here to prove what they're made of. They wanted to prove that they can hang with some of the best up-and-coming wrestlers in the country. They gotta be careful though, getting kicked in the face like that by JT Dunn. Certainly not going to be doing you any favors. And finally, Mark Sherman, the sure thing. Plan B. Wants all the other wrestlers to grab a pen and a pad and write his name down so that they don't forget it. Well, it's going to be hard to forget Mark Sherman after the impression he left on Dan Barry at Off the Grid. Well, Adrenalized able to regroup in the ring. Looks like they're both going to be trying to hit a dive to the outside. Well, Chris Neal launching himself over the top rope, but Nick Fahrenheit didn't join him. Regardless, Chris Neal effective in his strategy. Well, if Nick Fahrenheit didn't feel like it was necessary to put himself in danger, you can't blame him. And now Fahrenheit taking it to JT Dunn, tagging in his partner Chris Neal. Just to send JT Dunn back into the corner. Looks like some more tandem offense is lined up. We've got one drop kick, followed by an elevated drop kick right to the chest. And again, JT Dunn retreating to the outside. Mark Sherman really worse for wear, hasn't fully recovered since Chris Neal hit that first dive. Now it looks like Adrenalized are both going to be going for a double dive again, but Fahrenheit chickened out again. Well, Chris Neal not letting him live that one down, sending him right through the ropes with a suicide dive. And again, JT Dunn and Mark Sherman are laid out on the floor. So far, I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen of Adrenalized. I've got to admit, I was not even familiar with these guys until the Off the Grid taping. Per one of the recommendations of one of the local New England wrestlers, they said, hey, we've got an exciting up-and-coming tag team from the area. Check these guys out, give them an opportunity. And that's what Beyond Wrestling's all about. It's all about an opportunity to prove your ability as a wrestler. It's not about John Harder tripping up these guys. JT Dunn firmly in control as a result of John Harder's involvement. Him and Mark Sherman now just putting the boots to Chris Neal. Sherman holding him in position just to bury the knee. And mocking him, making him think that he's going to send him into his corner where he can get the tag just to bring him back into the Professional Revolution corner, now choking away. I mean, somebody the size of Mark Sherman, especially with his athletic ability, there's no need that he needs to be choking his opponent. He can clearly muscle him around. Look at the elevation, the extension on that vertical suplex. Mark Sherman going close to 6.5 feet tall. But a bit of a lackadaisical cover. Chris Neal still able to get the shoulder off the mat. Again, the Professional Revolution, their crusade. It's really something that's defined Beyond Wrestling since about time. Remember, John Harder and Leon St. Giovanni practically holding the show hostage. JT Dunn was there as a standby wrestler, as we often have at the Beyond Wrestling events. Based on how many guys want to come and compete on the show. Not always a spot for everybody, but you never know when one's going to open up. Of course, JT Dunn suffering a defeat to Leon St. Giovanni. Credit the assistant John Harder, and for whatever reason, that was enough to convince JT Dunn that he wasn't good enough to get it done on his own, and that he needed to join up with Harder. I mean, take a look at a kick like that. I mean, that's all in his ability. And raising the ire of Nick Fahrenheit, who's trying to get in the ring to help out his partner, but the referee will not allow it without a tag. Again, referee Anthony Green, he's had his hands full all weekend. I've said time and time again, if we had the manpower, I'd love nothing more than to see multiple officials assigned to multi-man contests. Hell, one official sometimes isn't enough when there's 2 competitors in the match, never mind 4. Sometimes 8 when we have the winner-takes-all tag team 4 ways. And of course, burst the bubble design to put the focus on the best wrestlers in New England. That's what this match right here is doing. Both JT Dunn and Mark Sherman from the New England area, as well as their opponents in Adrenalized. As far as independent wrestling goes, the independent wrestling world, they don't really know too much about the New England independent wrestling scene. I mean, myself, when I broke into the professional wrestling industry, I moved away from New England because I thought the area lacked credibility, and boy, was I wrong. Of course, we want to use this opportunity. We always want to use Beyond Wrestling as a way to spotlight the best up-and-coming wrestlers. But for Burst the Bubble especially, we want to use our live event in Bridgewater, Massachusetts on Saturday night, May 12th, as a way to spotlight the best wrestlers in New England. Nick Fahrenheit able to get himself back into the ring. Been on the apron, stewing for a couple minutes, full of energy, and taking out JT Dunn with that flying forearm. But Dunn's still got too much gas left in the tank. Now Fahrenheit looking to send JT Dunn off the ropes. Dunn with a reversal, and a kick to the chest and a kick to the head shut Fahrenheit down. Now tagging in the Plan B, Mark Sherman. Sherman firing away. JT Dunn with the lung blower, pushing him right back into Sherman, who takes him down with that clothesline. Again, this is the first time, to the best of my knowledge, that JT Dunn and Mark Sherman have ever even teamed together. How cocky is this guy? And granted, while they've got some kinks to work out in their tandem offense, I mean, that was an effective combination nonetheless. And I think that Fahrenheit has only served to anger Mark Sherman. And again, an individual of his size and his power, something as elementary as a stomp is going to be deadly when applied by Mark Sherman. Now Sherman positioning Fahrenheit on the top turnbuckle with ease. Perhaps going for a superplex. But instead, Fahrenheit doing everything he can to fight off his opponent. Now JT Dunn trying to pull him off, but JT Dunn gets sent to the floor. Fahrenheit comes diving off of that crossbody, just gets caught, just gets overpowered, gets manhandled with that overhead throw. And the way that he was holding onto him, too, was almost as though he was driving down with even more force on the way down. But again, Mark Sherman is just so arrogant. If he had a more effective lateral press, if he had hooked the leg, you're going to wonder if Fahrenheit would have been able to get out of that. But I'm not even sure that the Professional Revolution are concerned about winning this match in a timely fashion. I think that they want to show now that they're in full force. All four of these men being led by John Harder, JT Dunn, Mark Sherman. Of course, we've got Leon St. Giovanni and the newest member, Stan Stylez, on the outside. They're going to use this match as an opportunity to send a statement to the wrestlers in Beyond Wrestling who are all sitting by ringside watching this contest unfold. And give JT Dunn credit. I mean, this kid, he's in the gym twice a day, trying to get in the best shape of his life so that he can be the best competitor that he can be. He's got a lot of potential. He's a skilled striker. But John Harder is not going to do him any favors long term in professional wrestling. And that's what these guys need to learn. That shortcuts are only going to take them so far. How about that counter from Nick Fahrenheit? He was able to hold on to the ropes to prevent getting caught with another Chaos Theory-style German suplex, and able to roll through and connect with a kick. And now it's Chris Neal that's going to be coming in, looking to clear house. JT Dunn getting knocked down. And a third time getting caught with that calf kick. And able to kick the legs out from underneath Mark Sherman. That's the way you take the big man down. And Chris Neal with a quick tag to Nick Fahrenheit, who's had a couple moments to try and recover on the outside. Both sending JT Dunn off the ropes. They've got him hooked. And look at that unique offense from Adrenalized. Almost like a two-man Stylez clash. Driving JT Dunn with twice the impact down on his chest and his face, but Mark Sherman there to break it up. Oh, and the impact on that clothesline, sending Chris Neal to the outside. There you see Stan Stylez. I'm sure if the opportunity presents itself, he'll get himself physically involved, injured or not. Stan Stylez not competing on the second day of the off-the-grid taping as a result of the injury that he suffered. Oh, no. Neal's going to be done on the outside, the way that he just went face first into that concrete pillar. And then the bicycle kick from JT Dunn on Nick Fahrenheit. Dunn stumbling around. We've seen him use this wheelbarrow into the lung blower, the added elevation and added impact coming down. He's going to beat hell is JT Dunn doing right here? Fahrenheit wasn't going to kick out. Mark Sherman saying that he wants to get tagged in. I mean, Chris Neal has not moved on the floor since he got sent into that post. And the Professional Revolution are using this to take advantage of their opponents, to inflict more punishment. And that's it. Again, as we take a look, that lung blower from JT Dunn, followed by the impact of that diving powerbomb from Mark Sherman. And the Professional Revolution picking up an emphatic victory over Adrenalized. But I'm hoping at Burst the Bubble, May 12th, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, at the Knights of Columbus building, that they're going to get their comeuppance and that Dan Barry is going to be leading the charge. If you want tickets, you can get them now at www.lookmanofans.com for $15. We will have them at the door. You'll see Dan Barry versus JT Dunn, as well as 9 other exciting matches. And I hope that this is the weekend that the Professional Revolution gets put in their place. Oh, these guys are despicable.